Hello, my name is Elisa Rodriguez. My pronouns are she, her, ella for any Spanish speakers, and I'm a prevention student assistant here at the CARE office.
Hello, my name is Nicola Tuzon. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am also prevention student assistant here at the CARE office. For those who might not know, CARE stands for Campus Advocacy, Resources, and Education. Our office focuses on providing tools and resources on how we can all prevent and intervene when in situations that deal with domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking.
This video will go over on how to be an active bystander and how you can intervene in different situations. We will also discuss a few ways we can change the culture in our community and the different resources UC Merced offers. So, our goal at the CARE office is to encourage the UC Merced community to be an active bystander if we witness a situation of sexual violence. A quick and easy way to remember how to respond if a situation arises is the 3Ds, which we will touch upon in the next few slides. Keep in mind that when using one of the 3Ds, one of the most important rules is safety first. As an active bystander, you have to make sure that you are safe, secure, and comfortable when having to confront difficult situations. Before we break them down, regardless of which strategy that you find the most comfortable with, or whichever first comes to mind, it's always important to do something rather than nothing.
The first way of intervening is to be direct. This means talking to the people involved about what is going on. It can be talking to the person you think is hurting and telling them to stop, or checking in with the person you think is being harmed and seeing if they're okay. For example, you're working in a lab, and as you're walking around helping students, you see a student checking their phone every few minutes with a distressed expression on their face. You go up to them and ask, "Is everything all right? Do you need to step out really quick? Or can I help you with anything?" This is a form of directly intervening. However, not all people are comfortable being direct in all situations, so that's why we have other strategies.
Next, we have is distract. This is safely taking the attention away from the perpetrator from the situation. There are a variety of different ways to use this method, and you can get creative as you like. For example, let's say one day you are in the library studying, and as you are taking a minute break from your studying, you see a couple arguing at a table away from you, and it seems to be escalating. You go up to them and ask, "Hey, by any chance, can one of y'all show me where the bathroom is? This is my first time in the library, and I don't know where it could be." This distraction is diffusing the situation that they were in. Now, again, if you are not comfortable with directly intervening or distracting, then we have one more D to go over.
Last but not least, we have delegate. This is when you get someone else involved to help you intervene. You could turn to your friend or an authority figure like a UC Merced faculty, staff member, or even your advisor. Now, we do want to point out that when it comes to delegate, you might be seen as a person of authority. For example, this can look like a student coming up to you and disclosing something that is happening to them or someone they know. They can go up to you after class, might try to talk to you during lab, or at your office hours. If this were to happen, depending on the situation, you might have to call the police or go to your advisor. Just again, understand that you have the authority to delegate. And if you happen to intervene by using any of the 3Ds when nothing was actually happening, don't worry. The people involved will let you know that they're okay and may even appreciate that you took the time to check in.
Now, using the 3Ds is one way of being an active bystander, but here are some other ways we can change the culture and make our community a safe place. You can start by speaking up when you hear victim blaming statements, which are any of these ideas that the victim said or did something to deserve this violence. Here are some examples you may have heard of. Look at what they're wearing, drinking, or doing. They were clearly asking for it. Guys always want sex. There's no way it was rape. You must have sent mixed messages. We know that no one asks or deserves to experience violence. Every time we blame the victim, we are essentially sending the message that what the abuser did was okay. We want to bring the attention to the person who chose to hurt someone else rather than blame the person that experienced violence. Another way to change the culture is to make sure you check your languages and jokes. This is one common way that minimizes sexual violence. One of many examples are these white tank tops that some men like to wear, and they are often referred to as wife beaters. But in reality, it's just an ordinary article of clothing that doesn't define a man's personality or background. This demonstrates how far this term has been minimized and how it carries a negative stereotype on those who wear white tank tops. Last but not least, you can also get involved. Watching this video is one way of doing so, or participating in any events, workshops, and training sessions that the CARE office hosts for the UC Merced community. You can also simply volunteer your time as a student and make an everyday commitment to being a change agent in our community.
To conclude this presentation, here are some resources that UC Merced offers to all students, faculty, staff, and affiliates. Formal reporting resources are places or persons that must notify the university of a disclosure, which then starts a formal process of addressing any forms of sexual violence we've talked about. We have the UCPD or any other police department, the Office of Prevention for Harassment and Discrimination, also known as the Title IX office, and any responsible employee that is not listed as confidential. Next is our confidential resources that are free and may help someone who isn't quite sure what their options and next steps are. We have our Care Campus Advocate Lena, the Valley Crisis Center 24-hour hotline, and CAPS, which is short for Counseling and Psychological Services.
And with that being said, thank you for your time and attention. We hope you can take something away from anything we've discussed throughout the video. Before we end, we want to remind you that in case you need to speak to someone after watching this video, you can always call and text our campus advocate Lena or call the Valley Crisis Center 24-hour hotline. Thank you again for watching this presentation.